Breeze, partly cloudy, turning to mostly cloudy skies today and a high of 27. Partly cloudy skies overnight, low down to 13. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Vince Vitrano. Happening right now, President-elect Trump expected to speak any moment this morning, taking questions from reporters at his Mar-a-Lago home. ABC's Catherine Falders just learning of this availability this morning from the Trump transition team.
They haven't really said exactly what these remarks from Trump are about later this morning. I'm told by sources that the intention, at least, is to essentially announce more foreign investments in the U.S. economy. But that's not really going to be the point at the end of the day of this. It's because Trump wants to have reporters in. He wants to take questions. He hasn't taken extensive questions from reporters in quite some time, since the last time he did this at Mar-a-Lago.
President-elect expected to travel to Washington tomorrow to meet with Republican legislators. The FBI joining the search now for an armed and dangerous man wanted in connection with the deaths of 3 people at a home in central Wisconsin. Authorities believe Virgil Thu may have left the area, last confirmed being seen outside New Lisbon in Juneau County on the 1st of January. Woman found dead in the home identified as Thu's girlfriend, and 2 girls were also found dead. They're 12 and 13 years old. Milwaukee police shot a man overnight on the city's south side.
A 19-year-old male suspect wanted for sexual assault of a child was in a home near 7th and Arthur. When officers attempted to arrest the man, that's when Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says the suspect pulled out a gun.
A struggle ensued between 2 officers and a suspect over the firearm. One officer discharged his firearm, subsequently striking the suspect.
That suspect is now in custody and is expected to survive. The 35-year-old male officer who shot the suspect is on administrative leave. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
An ice fisherman died falling through the ice in Marquette County this weekend in a separate incident. One man recovering after he fell through the ice on a UTV in Chippewa County. A man recovering from that incident. Meanwhile, colder temperatures will help with ice conditions, but still no snow up north. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky telling Wisconsin's Morning News. The North Woods again hurting for snow.
I know we really hammered on it last year, but they're off to another terrible start. Now, granted, it's been cold, that they can do some ice fishing and stuff, but they've had less snow than we've had. Many parts of the state, like Wausau and Points North. And I'm not seeing anything major, even for the North Woods here for a while.
Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up in just 3 minutes. Northeast Wisconsin, less than 4 months out from hosting the NFL Draft. Jen Metcalf with Discover Green Bay tells WTMJ the city plans to show off to visitors its special sites.
This is our opportunity to really welcome all these folks who are coming here in the name of football, but they'll also be visiting our restaurants, our bars, our parks, just everything in our community. So it's really important for us to make sure that we give them a good first impression if it's their first time here.
The NFL Draft runs April 24th through the 26th. Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up right now, 82 points to 42,788. S&P 500 at 59.56. That is down almost 20 points. And the NASDAQ is down more than 200 to 19,658. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
This report sponsored by the Fireside Theater, the ultimate Elvis tribute musical.
Which one for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready now, go cat go.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson, and you've never seen anything like it.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell.
Back in the Building features a rotating cast of the finest award-winning Elvis tribute artists and Anne Margaret, all backed by an incredible live band and ensemble. Experience the eras of Elvis in this legendary feel-good show. From the 50s to the movies, the 60s comeback to the rockin' 70s. It's all here.
Oh, see right.
Every ticket to the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis back in the building, live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Only at the Fireside Theater.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update for the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Bucks host the Spurs tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum. A record-setting night in Canada for Brooke Lopez.
Brings it against Barrett, throws to the trailer. Lopez wide open, top of the key for three. You betcha! Brooke Lopez, the last five. It's the 1,000th three-pointer of his career, distinguished career.
Giannis had a triple-double, and the Bucks beat the Raptors 128-104. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur indicating the team will be without wide receiver Christian Watson for the playoffs after he suffered a knee injury Sunday against the Bears.
I hurt for him. I obviously hurt for our team, but I just more for him just because I know how much he's put into this thing.
Packers and Eagles in the wild card round of the playoffs Sunday, 3:30 kick in Philadelphia. And on the college hardwood, the Badgers won their first road game of the season, beating Rutgers 75-63. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Report. We had a rash of incidents at the back end of the morning rush. Everything cleared out of traffic, so no slowdowns or delays to report. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, partly cloudy today, turning to mostly cloudy skies and a high of 27 degrees. Tonight's low down to 13. Sunshine and a few clouds with maybe some flurries on Wednesday and a high of 22. Thursday's high 28 under partly cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy and a chance of some light snow Friday with a high of 30. And partly cloudy skies on Saturday. Saturday's high right at the freezing mark, 32. Madison now at 15. Green Bay at 16. 15 in Waukesha. And in Milwaukee, it's 17 degrees. I'm Vince Vitrano, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Now for the host that's always on the upswing, Jeff Sherman.
Now, to business, gentlemen.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Happy Tuesday. Reading and housing, they're fundamental, right? So today we're going to discuss both on the Upswing. An Illinois-based nonprofit, Bernie's Book Bank, has a new Milwaukee location and a new executive director. She's going to join us coming up in a couple minutes here. And there's a lot of challenges to developing housing. These challenges aren't new, but there are many new solutions out there. One local developer and a consultant is helping lead the way to kind of solve many of the housing challenges in greater Milwaukee. Montavious Jones will join us to talk about his firm's work and what's happening in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. Just quickly, I'm going to talk more with Martin Moore on Thursday about this, but decision today from Meta to end fact-checking on Facebook and Instagram and Threads pretty much is all in the name of free speech, right? It raises a bunch of points that can be left up to interpretation depending upon your perspective. But the move really places more responsibility on users to discern credible information, right? While some are going to kind of view this, hey, we're stepping back from fact-checking, moving it to a personal accountability. Others are going to see it as kind of leaving the door open for even more misinformation to spread unchecked. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Ultimately, community and commerce, I guess. That's what social media is. It's driving as many people to a platform in order to monetize. But the more people you drive to the platforms, the fact checkers, sure, They make mistakes, but they were part of a process and an ecosystem that balances safety with free speech. You look at what Reddit's doing. I think it will be interesting to see how this plays out, but ultimately, yes, it's about moving as many people to a platform to monetize as you can. All right, we do this 2 Up feature each and every morning, so let's go 2 Up.
Now it's time for the 2 Up on the Upswing.
Do you remember the Chancery restaurant on Downer Avenue on the east side of Milwaukee? It's been closed since 2007. 2007. Making it one of the Milwaukee area's oldest vacant restaurant spaces. It might, though, find a new tenant very soon. The space at 2577 North Downer Avenue closed in March of 2007. It's owned by Bridge 33 Capital that just recently received city approval to create 2 retail storefronts there in the former restaurant space that housed the Chancery. Today, there's word that local bubble tea spot, Serenity, has filed for a city occupancy to operate a cafe and coffee shop there, maybe with a tavern, in a 1,700 square foot space. Serenity has places at Bayview Town Center and another location at Marquette's campus on 14th and Wells. Manpreet Singh is the operator. We've been in touch. I hope to have him on the show in the coming weeks. Bubble tea, of course, is this wonderful drink that, hey, I have a 12-year-old at home. That's all she wants to do is drink bubble tea, but it blends tea with milk and fruit juices and those little tapioca boba tea pearls. Really, really good stuff. So watch for a new boba tea Serenity location on Milwaukee's east side. Next, Costco is out to solve housing. We're going to talk about housing later in the show, but Costco may have a solution. Has 11 locations in Wisconsin. But Costco just unveiled an ambitious project to address the affordable housing crisis in Los Angeles, where the retail giant plans to construct 800 housing units above one of its locations. Thrive Living is planning to begin construction on this project in early 2025. 800 units of affordable housing with the mega retailer on the ground floor in the Baldwin Village neighborhood of South LA. The project includes a rooftop pool, a fitness center, would have 184 apartments for lower income households. Creativity, mixed use, that's what is going to drive housing in the new year for sure. You got to think though, membership's what, $65 a year at Costco. No matter what, those hot dogs are $1.50. You can walk right downstairs, get a Costco hot dog. Not a bad deal at all. Coming up next, books and more books for Milwaukee kids. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
There are a lot of interesting people and traditions in Wisconsin. 1 hour of covering culture and creativity in our state is simply not enough. I'm Sandy Max of WTMJ's What's on Tap with the happy news that my show is now expanded to 2 hours. So please join me weeknights from 6 till 8 for updates on festivals, films, food, music, theater, and other ways we love to make the most of Wisconsin life. What's on Tap with Sandy Max weeknights now from 6 till 8 on WTMJ. And subscribe to the What's on Tap podcast to listen anytime you want.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
If you're looking to build or remodel, then check out the 2025 Metropolitan Builders Association Home Building and Remodeling Show, presented by Nuns, January 10th through the 12th at State Fair Park. Learn about the latest home building and remodeling trends from over 150 MBA industry experts. For more information and tickets, visit mbahomeshow.com. If building and remodeling is on your to-do list in 2025, then don't miss the MBA Home Building and Remodeling Show this weekend at State Fair Park.
We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. We put cool stuff in your yard. Patios, decks, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, screen rooms, even in-ground pools. You dream it, we design it together, then Outdoor Living Unlimited installs it for you. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Happy Tuesday. As part of a national expansion, Bernie's Book Bank, a nonprofit based in Lake Bluff, Illinois, recently announced the appointment of Jenna Reno, who's in the studio this morning, as its new executive director for Bernie's Book Bank Greater Milwaukee. Bernie's has a partnership with MPS and is kicking off a new fundraising campaign. So we thought it'd be a good time to talk with Jenna as the organization looks to build upon the success it's had in Chicagoland, expand nationally, but first get a really good foothold in the greater Milwaukee area. Jenna, thanks for your time this morning. So tell us about Bernie's Book Bank.
So Bernie's Book Bank was founded in 2009 by Brian Floriani, and this was in honor of his father, who was a lifelong literacy promoter. He had his PhD in literacy, and so he wanted to do this to honor him after he died. And so for the past 15 years, they've been serving the Chicagoland area and now reached 300,000 kids in Chicago and just gave out their 28 millionth book.
Wow.
Which is an amazing benchmark. And then, the idea was always to expand. And so this last year, they built a national task force, and Milwaukee was a natural partner for the first site of expansion. And so here we are. The wheels are in motion.
All right. So as you look at kind of your strategic priorities for Milwaukee over the next couple of years, what are those? And why are you excited about the opportunity? Obviously, it's new, and building kind of a new organization in the market has got to be super fun. But just talk about your personal passion to reading.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I feel like this is kind of a dream job for me. I have a background in journalism and writing, and I've been working in different nonprofits in Milwaukee for the past 15 years. And what really drew me to this opportunity is that it really operates like a business. And so when I came in, I was really impressed by just the energy, by all the people that were involved, and just how efficient the operation was. They've really honed in on one specific problem and solved one specific problem, which is book ownership. So there's lots of other groups that are doing wonderful things with literacy. However, nobody else is doing exactly what they do in such an efficient way, with just getting free books into the hands of kids.
Yeah. And so what's the size of the organization in Chicago, and how do you plan to replicate that in Milwaukee?
Yeah. So it's right now we have about 30 people in a 35,000 square foot warehouse.
Okay.
And so we're looking to somewhat replicate that. It will be a little bit of a smaller operation because with the proximity of Lake Bluff, we can have some shared services.
Yeah.
So really moving into 2025, our two main priorities are to double our service. So we're now serving 20,000 kids already in the greater Milwaukee area. So we want to expand to 40,000.
Okay.
And then to establish a physical presence. So really kicking off this fundraising campaign so that we can procure and outfit a building, which will not just be a book processing facility, but also a volunteer center. So that's first and foremost.
Okay.
And then into 2026, continuing to raise money so that we can expand to serve all of the deserving children in Milwaukee County, greater Milwaukee, which is 96,000 kids.
Okay. All right. And when we come back, I want to kind of dive into some of the additional opportunities and challenges for expanding in Milwaukee, and then how you're going to work to differentiate Bernie's Book Bank from other literacy organizations, and even more so, because I'm all about collaboration and community, how you collaborate with our other organizations to create even bigger impact. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
The amount of energy people are using is going up. Power companies are changing where that power comes from.
Entertainment.
This is the culmination of these tour journals of all the weirdest shows I played.
And more.
Anybody who looks at this institutionally would never allow recess appointments to happen when a Republican president gets elected, because they'll know what will happen if a Democrat gets elected.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank has been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Your financing requests, they can be approved in days. You don't have to wait weeks because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand, providing top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, they get the job done. Together, doing good, that's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your 4th quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. 0 wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined in studio by Jenna Reno. Jenna is the executive director of Bernie's Book Bank in Greater Milwaukee. Bernie's is Chicago's leading provider of quality free books for kids. And Jenna, as you look to the mission of Bernie's, just walk us through the process in terms of how you interact with not only kids and families and schools and businesses, but what's that process and what does it look like day to day for you?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, our mission is really simple. We want to enable positive life experiences through book ownership. And so that's really the piece that we tackle. So we source, process, and distribute 8 quality free books to kids through schools and early childhood programs for less than $2 a book. So, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone else that can do something that efficiently. And so we're really, really excited about the expansion because, as I mentioned, it was always the intention to have a scalable model that could be replicated in every major city. Mm-hmm. So we've started to, we came into the Milwaukee market because we had this wonderful opportunity to conduct a randomized control study to really measure the impact that our program was having. So over the past 5 years, we've already been distributing in MPS schools and had a wonderful response based on the just with academic outcomes, but actually have some hard data now as we're entering the market.
Yeah, I mean, we probably take it for granted that we have books at home, right?
Absolutely.
And if you don't, it looks differently.
Right. And actually, in an under-resourced household, only 1 in 5 children or 1 in 5 children do not have access to books in their homes, which is really crazy to think about because I think, most of us have too many books in our house sometimes.
Yeah. So can you describe the partnership with MPS, how that was developed, how it will contribute to the organization's success, and more importantly, kind of like you just said, lead to better reading outcomes in Greater Milwaukee.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned, we started with this randomized control study. So 30 MPS schools received our books and 30 did not. So 2025 is the first, 2024 and 25 is the first school year where all 60 of those kids are receiving books. So what we do is once a year, we go into the classroom and they get a big green bag filled with 8 brand new books. And it's really great. A handful of times we'll actually go into the classroom with the kids. And it feels like Santa Claus. You get to go in the reaction from these kids when we say, these are yours to keep, to take home. I mean, they're flabbergasted. And so it's such an inspiring thing to see and to witness. And so that's the process. It's really simple. And then, as I mentioned, that we serve birth through 6th grade. So that early childhood segment as well. As we're entering this market, typically in Chicago, they distribute through WIC sites. But we're looking into other partnerships as well through the city of Milwaukee, through their early childhood program, and lots of other ways to get these.
And then are there events in the schools to distribute the books, or how does that process look like within the schools?
All depends. So typically we just drop the books and we allow the teachers to distribute them as they can during the day, just so that we're not being too disruptive. But as I mentioned, a handful of times we'll take donors through, or we call them VIP distributions. If there's a school partner that has a special event, we love to be on site.
Okay. Well, as you kind of build out your plan in Milwaukee, I know you have a campaign launch coming up, and what's that all about? Are there matching grants, and what's that going to look like? And what opportunities are there to connect?
Yeah. So Tuesday, January 21st, we are formalizing our campaign called The Next Chapter, and we'll be launching a $4.5 million capital campaign that will allow us to create a volunteer and book processing facility, and then also to expand our programming to all deserving kids of Milwaukee. So it's open to the public 5 to 7 at the Ivy House. Again, that's Tuesday, January 21st.
All right.
Throughout the day, though, there will be volunteer opportunities. So people can get a taste of our mission by coming in and seeing what the volunteer experience is all about, sorting books.
And it's just, for clarification, it's all new books that the organization purchases, or are there opportunities for people to donate books?
A little bit of both. So, we do take used books. However, those are sorted to ensure that they're of high quality.
I'm asking for a friend as we're currently cleaning out the Sherman basement. So
bring us all your books.
Done. You have boxes coming from us very soon.
Great.
We touched briefly. How are you hoping to work with some of the other literary services organizations in the area?
Yeah. So we are working with, as I mentioned, the Office of Early Childhood Education, and then other groups that are really focusing on early childhood to find the most efficient way to get our books directly into the hands of kids. The school partnership is sort of a no-brainer because, it doesn't require any additional steps to have like the parents sign up for books or anything like that. We just go right in and we give them the books. So just really finding different ways to make it easy. And then also to pair with the services, if the kids have the books, how do we pair with a tutoring organization or a literacy organization that is teaching these kids how to read them?
Reading, it's fundamental. Jenna Reno is the executive director of Bernie's Book Bank in Greater Milwaukee. Finally, Jenna, do you have a favorite book as a kid that you still remember and have taken life lessons from?
Oh, man, I have so many. I would say I love The Boxcar Children and pretty much anything by Roald Dahl, just because he's so silly.
Yeah. You ever read Caps for Sale?
Yes.
Yes. Caps for Sale is my book. Old school, where the peddler has these 16 caps on his head, and he's got that checkered cap as he walks through the town calling caps for sale, 50 cents a cap. That's a great book. There's so many lessons, and it's all about business and community too. Yeah. So it's great. All right. Again, remind us of the capital campaign launch, when and where.
Yes. Okay. So Tuesday, January 21st at the Ivy House. Please attend. We have a matching grant announcement from the Kohler Foundation that we're trying to close out for $500,000. Tuesday, January 21st.
Very good. Jenna Reno from Bernie's Book Bank. Jenna, I appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Montavious Jones is the principal at Navarte Development, a Milwaukee-based developer and consultant. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. This hour, the body of Jimmy Carter is headed from Atlanta to Washington, D.C. The nation's 39th president with an honor guard has been lying in repose at the Carter Center in Atlanta. Soon he will arrive in Washington, where he will lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda. A state funeral will be held on Thursday. 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts are a possibility in Southern California today, and in Texas, it's the cold. ABC's Jim Ryan in Dallas with more on continued strains on the state's electricity providers.
The cold snap has prompted the operator of the state's power grid to issue a weather watch from now through January 10th. The freeze is expected to boost demand, but the Electric Reliability Council of Texas says power should be plentiful this week. ERCOT expects very few weather-related outages.
Rules about the kinds of information you can post on Facebook and Threads are being loosened. Meta head Mark Zuckerberg, in a post this morning, says he wants the social networks to focus on free expression. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:31. I'm Vince Vitrano. The FBI is now involved in a search for a man accused of murdering 3 people in central Wisconsin. He is on the run this morning. Authorities believe Virgil Thu killed his girlfriend and 2 girls, 12 and 13 years old. He is charged with 3 counts of homicide now, but has been missing since the 3 were found dead in Juneau County on the first of the year. Wisconsin's North Woods again hurting for snow. The tourist dollars it brings as well. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky telling Wisconsin's Morning News, Wausau and points north have actually had less snow even than southeast Wisconsin this season. He did say the colder weather could help conditions for those who head north for ice fishing. The Green Bay Packers will be without wide receiver Christian Watson for the playoff run. Watson injured his knee in Sunday's loss to the Bears. Packers travel to Philadelphia to face the Eagles. Sunday kickoff set for 3:30. Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average still up this hour, up about 31 points to 42,737. S&P 500 to 5950. That is down 25. And the NASDAQ is down more than 200 points to 19,658. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at your roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Report. We had nearly half a dozen vehicles disabled on the freeway system around Milwaukee, but the good news is all of them are out of traffic. So we have no slowdowns, no delays to report. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast on our way to a high of 27 degrees today under skies that will turn mostly cloudy. Partly cloudy overnight, low down to 13. Wednesday's high just 22 with a mixture of sunny clouds and maybe a few flurries. Up to 28 for your high on Thursday under partly cloudy skies. Friday mostly cloudy with a chance of light snow and a high of 30. Saturday partly cloudy, high 32. Madison right now at 16 degrees, 18 in Green Bay. Waukesha at 17 and in Milwaukee, 18 degrees. I'm Vince Vitrano, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 10:33.
Mine Chef restaurant gift cards make great year-round gifts as everyone loves a free meal. WTMJ's John Mercure here through January 15th only. When you buy a 100 gift card, you get a bonus $20 gift card for free. Buy 250, get 50 free. Business owners, managers, order Mine Chef gift cards for your loyal employees and clients. They will love the Mine Chef, and they'll really appreciate you. It's big food, big fun. Monday and Thursday, buy one pizza, get a second pizza free. Wednesday and Friday, the all-you-can-eat fish fry is just $7.99. What an incredible value. The Mine Chef, super affordable, family-friendly. Order your gift cards at minechefrestaurant.com. Do it by January 15th. If you don't have your holiday company party in December, have it in January at the Mine Shaft in their free party rooms. It's the perfect place at the perfect time. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Order your free gift cards at minechefrestaurant.com. Do it by January 15th, and it'll be mailed right to your home or office. It's the Mine Shaft.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our house in the middle of our street. Something tells you that you've got to in the middle.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman, joined in studio by Montavious Jones. Montavious is a principal at Navarte Development, a Milwaukee-based developer and consultant. Montavious, I always appreciate your focus and your intention and your just ability to kind of dive in and look at community issues with a ton of dignity. So I appreciate you taking the time to be in studio this morning. I wanted to talk about some of the challenges of redevelopment in especially some of Milwaukee's most disinvested neighborhoods, or really for any city for that matter. What are those challenges, and how is your firm looking to overcome them in this wonderful new year of ours?
Yeah, well, one, I appreciate you having me on.
Of course.
I enjoy talking about this. Is what I wake up thinking about, what I go to sleep thinking about. So whenever I get a chance to tell more people about it, I'm very excited to do it. So thank you. I am from what we would call a disinvested neighborhood. I grew up in Sherman Park, lived there until I went to college, and bought my first house there with my wife. And I've lived this experience. And what I've learned over my years in career as a developer is like what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
What is difficult in these type of neighborhoods is one, the math just doesn't work. The math on doing new development, redevelopment, it's hard to make the numbers work. I think that is
meaning
one
that
of the
developers
issues.
don't have enough opportunity to make the profit they want or need.
Or need, developments like any other business, people do want to do it for, they want to make money for their job. A lot of people also want to do good by their neighborhood.
Right.
So when it comes to when I say the numbers just don't work, the returns aren't there. So that's where you have a lot of incentives, government incentives that help places that don't work kind of get it over the edge. But that's not enough, really. I mean, subsidies only go so far.
Right.
There's only so many of them out there. So what I believe is you have to take a different approach, the same approach that you could do in a neighborhood that's hot, that's developing quickly. That's not the same approach you need in a disinvested neighborhood.
Yeah. When you look at kind of long-term and short-term issues, how can we as a city think long-term and short-term at the same time? Does that exist?
It exists. I mean, that's how traditionally neighborhoods have been built. So you have a short-term need. Somebody comes to a new city. When you think about when cities are first developing, new people, immigrants come to a city, they need somewhere to live, and they need to do it quickly. So they use the materials and resources available to them in their immediate surroundings. So I add a unit on to the back of my house because my cousin just moved here from down south, and they need somewhere to live. So that type of incremental development has happened. That's a really short-term play. Long-term play is, of course, adding those amenities that do attract more and more people and allow for new types of housing, new type of commercial spaces to be built. You invest in a park here. You make a sidewalk nicer over here. You build a school so more and more people can live and stay in this neighborhood. So I believe oftentimes cities are so focused on the long-term play that they overlook the smaller, quick wins that can really help change a neighborhood.
Yeah, that's interesting. And obviously, as you dive into each city and each community, zoning and prices come into play too. So when we come back from the break, I want to get your take on zoning policies, how they shape the housing market crisis, and how they impact development, especially on a local level here in Milwaukee. Montavious Jones joins us. This is The Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Innovation in the local real estate and development game, especially in local housing. Montavious Jones joins us in studio. So, Montavious, as you look at zoning and prices in Milwaukee, how do zoning policies shape the housing market and impact what you're doing and others are doing in the development game?
Right. So zoning dictates what is allowed to be built where. How many units can be built on this parcel, what type of use can go in this commercial space. So when you have a zoning policy like we have here, where it really artificially restricts the amount of housing that can get built, that directly increases the cost of housing because land costs what land costs. If you build one house on it or you build 10 houses on it, you have to spread that cost of land across those units. Yeah. So as you limit the number of housing units that can get built, all those existing housing units have to make up for that cost. So we can see examples here in Milwaukee where current zoning has limited the amount of units that get built. Developers don't want to fight with the city. They don't want to fight with the neighborhoods. So they just build to what is allowed under existing code. And that is usually less than what the market actually wants and demands and can support. So those units that do get built have to be supported somehow.
And does that lead to opportunities like River Trail Commons in the River West area in terms of, hey, this is a creative solution to get, not to get past the zoning policies, but to create creative solutions that maybe are solving a complex problem?
Right. So we did have to get creative with our River Trail Commons project, a little easier than a lot of other developers have to go through, but it does allow us to do what we want to do at the property. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to do a lot of fighting. We had great support from the city, from Alderman Jonathan Brostoff, who was the early supporter of the project. So we were allowed to do what we wanted, but that's not always the case with a lot of people across the city.
Okay. I want to look at just housing prices in the area. It was interesting. I saw a post you had on X, former Twitter, that Richard Florida, a professor and author and urbanist who has been in the market many times. I've been through a couple of his courses. But he posted the growing markets, the top growing markets, the top growing metro markets for housing prices in 2024. Anaheim was number 1 at 12.5%. Chicago, number 7 at 8.6%. And Milwaukee came in at number 11 at 8.1%. And he said, a list that would have been unimaginable just 5 years or so ago, metros with the fastest growing housing prices in 2024. You replied, this infuriates me because we have local leaders and electeds who won't take this seriously or courageously. Don't disturb the status quo, and this is what you get. So what did you mean by this, and what are the impacts of just the constantly escalating housing costs in this market and all other markets?
So we're on a list with hot cities in America. We're on a list with California cities. We're on a list with Austin. We're on a list with Chicago, these fast-growing places. And Milwaukee has a nearly stagnant population. So housing prices are not going up because there's a glut of demand, people coming in. There's not enough housing to support. There's something else going on in the market. There's not enough housing for the existing population, let alone if a lot of people wanted to move here. So I said this infuriates me because this happened under the existing code, under existing conditions. This is happening. And these this has real effects on real people's lives. People's rents go up every year, year after year. People can't find an affordable starter home. People can't downsize. You know, I've lived in this house 20 years, my family, now they're all gone. I got 4 bedrooms. Me and my wife, we don't need 4 bedrooms anymore. I can't find a townhome that I want. All that exists under existing conditions. So it's my contention that we need to change something in order to allow those types of housing and affordable prices to come back into the market.
What do you want that change to be? Obviously, we want to stabilize housing costs and encourage development at the same time. And those can be done on the same track. So what are your recommendations?
And I will add that we want to help increase neighborhood wealth. We want local owners, either property owners who are great landlords or people who actually own the home that they live in. So we do want more local ownership. What can happen, there's a lot of reasons the existing status for the status quo. One reason is our existing zoning code. And we have a solution in front of us, growing MKE, a proposal from the Department of City Development to change the zoning code that allows more housing of different types across the entire city. It's been stalled over the past 9 months or so. And I believe, and I'm not the only one who believes this, we need to get this passed. Research says it. I'm not the only one saying it. Academics are saying it. People who are practitioners in this space are saying it. It's too hard to do development. It's too hard to provide housing solutions under this existing code.
Okay. When we come back, I want to talk about River Trail Commons in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. Future resident Nola Hitchcock-Cross joins us in studio as well. Talk about a listening session that you have coming up next week. This is The Upswing. We're presented by Horicon Bank, and you're listening to WTMJ.
The news you need to know.
Some breaking news. A 4K student dies after being struck by a bus.
Happening now, investigators are looking into the deadly New Year's Day attack in the French Quarter of New Orleans. At least 15 people were killed. Dozens more were hurt.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty every weekday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
I don't really take a lot of stock in some reviews, but when it comes to restaurants, I do.
Well, here's the Macedonia getting off the bottom here in 2025.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman, speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank has been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Your financing requests, they can be approved in days. You don't have to wait weeks because your banker understands you and your business. Their service and products, they go hand in hand, providing top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, they get the job done. Together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Get 15% off everything you can fit inside the bag at Menards. Quaker State Full Synthetic Motor Oil ensures strong engine performance, even in freezing temperatures. It also delivers unsurpassed protection against friction-related wear. Get 15% off Quaker State Motor Oil and all the automotive products you can fit inside the bag. Good through January 12th. See store for complete details. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Comfortable locations, comfortable people. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
During your career, investments piled up. From 401ks to brokerage accounts, it turned into quite a collection. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe every portfolio tells a story. We've analyzed thousands. Some reflect diligence and fortitude. Others, a mishmash of overlapping investments. When Annex reviews a portfolio, we spot what works, what might not, and then provide unbiased suggestions. Every portfolio tells a story. Let's work on yours. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. That's our story. Head to annexwealth.com.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin. So there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit fredert.com/cancer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. Milwaukee needs bold leadership to solve its housing crisis. Thankfully, there are really, really good, passionate people working on it diligently each and every day. Montavious Jones joins us in studio. Also, future resident of the River Trail Commons, Nola Hitchcock Cross, joins us in studio as well. Nola, thanks for your time this morning. So tell us what co-housing is, and specifically why you're excited about River Trail Commons in River West.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Of course.
Nothing I like to talk about more. Co-housing, there's about 200 co-housing communities in the United States, including 5 in Madison, and we will be the first in Milwaukee. We started a co-op a few blocks up from where we are in the 70s. This is the first co-housing, and it's just south of Locust on Humboldt, on the park, on the river, in the forest. And physically, it's 40 condominium homes.
Okay.
Some will be on Humboldt, townhomes, and some will be in a larger building on the park in the back parcel. But in addition to being condominiums, which people think they understand what that is, namely there's some common amenities.
Right.
The difference between other condominiums and co-housing is the secret sauce, which is what co-housing is all about. And the focus of the secret sauce is that the entire development is organized and designed architecturally for social interaction. Everyone has their own house, their own kitchen, their own everything, and yet, to be private, and everything's very private as a home. But then when you step out of your house, you're still part of your own community. It's not like you're in a complex. It's still your living room when you go to the common house. So the focus of co-housing is the common house, which has a lot of the portions of houses that we normally don't use very much. For example, our guest room. So we have guest rooms in the common house.
Okay.
We have lounges in the common house zone. But most important, we have a large dining room and kitchen where we all eat together
Building
every
a
Sunday.
community within a community.
And that's what it's all about.
Yes. So next week, January 15th, I believe, 5:30, you have a listening session for people that want to learn more about co-housing and specifically about this development. What are the details there?
Right. So January 15th, about 5:30 p.m., we're going to have an info session here in Milwaukee at TKWA Studio in Walker's Point, where people can come out and learn more about what co-housing is, about our specific development of co-housing, how people can get involved, stay informed. We'll have some of the renderings for people to take a look at and ask questions like, what is this thing? How would it work? What are the type of people who live here? How could I get in here? And we'll be answering all those questions.
All right. Very good. Montavious, quickly, what's your big, bold prediction in development for 2025 in Milwaukee?
There's a lot of developments I'm excited about. I'm excited to see the Bronzeville Creative Arts Hub get completed. I'm really excited for King Drive in general, just north of downtown here in Milwaukee. It is prime for development. It's going to explode very soon. And, this is an area that I'm very familiar with, having worked here on property in the area. So I'm excited to see this really kick off.
Montavious, Nola, thanks for your time this morning. Enjoy the rest of your week. Wisconsin's Midday News is coming up next. But first, business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Completion of the downtown Milwaukee Dog Park extends into the new year.